So do you know what is the difference between a function and a procedure?
I think so, yes.
Okay,
Well, yes.
so yeah, what is that difference?
So a function is a series of codes, okay? And when I run it, I run the same code, but I could like just loop it again and again. Why procedure? I don't know.
Okay, so Sadiq, let me explain in I mean in AS level, the most important thing here is that we know that a function actually it is a series of codes that return a value, and a procedure or a method, as it's sometimes called, it's actually it could be the same series of codes or line of codes, but it does not return any value. So I'm able to print something to the screen using a print command, but I'm not going to return, the function will return back to the calling program without having any values. Okay, so so do you see the, do you see this line 143, line 143? So do you see that command that's called return? So
Yes.
this is how I return a value from a function. So if you see it there, so this is what we call a function. If you don't see it there, then it is a method or a procedure. That's how we differentiate.
I think I got it.
Okay, that's good. So Sadiq, also let me explain something to you. So I am not asking you to challenge you, but I am actually challenging your brain. So for your neurons and for your, to build you a permanent memory with a good programming skills that help you to solve problems, we need to build that gradually over time. But I cannot do that if you are only listening to me without talking or without me challenging you with questions. So it is not that I'm trying to tell that what is your level. No, I'm trying to use I mean the neuroscience how to say, technology or science is about how I challenge you so that you build the links that help you in the exam to solve and excel. So
Yes, got it.
okay, that's good. So okay, can we look here? So actually, what kind of tell me what kind of compilers that you have on your PC?
I do have Python and Visual Basic.
No, sorry, I didn't get you.
I do have Visual Basic.
Oh, wait. So you're
Microsoft.
okay. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
wait.
But does it run the Python?
It does.
That's interesting. Okay.
Visual
So
Studio. Sorry, Visual Studio.
Visual Studio. Okay. Yeah.
My
So
bad.
it okay. So but you need to make sure that this is acceptable. It might not be interesting now because this exam will be having mostly pseudocode. But at least on paper 4, if you move to the A level, then I believe the book is talking about using PyCharm. Okay, and of course you can use
I do
online.
have PyCharm as well, as I told you. I'm using PyCharm actually more.
Okay, that's good. Okay,
Hmm.
so okay, now I want you to look here. Do you know what this function is doing?
The vertical none for it's a loop, I think.
Okay, so it's a loop, and this range function actually it is giving me some numbers, right? So it makes a loop.
Yes.
Okay, so do you know it will loop from what? The I values will be from what to what?
From 1 to 10, I think.
Okay, so in programming, we never talk about starting from 1. We always talk
Oh
about
yeah, sorry,
starting from
0 to
0.
10 maybe.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly, 0 to 10. Okay, so if we talk about, I mean, a while ago, we talked about the definition between a function and a procedure. So in your opinion, a print table is a function or a procedure?
It's a procedure, I think.
Yes, perfect. You're perfect. Okay, so that's good. So, okay, look at this code, please. And so this code actually, you pass it an array, and then it will try to find the largest value in the array.
Yes.
Okay, so can we go through it, and then after this I will ask you to help me to change that code and move it to build a function to find the largest element in an array. Okay, so this is an array.
Yes.
Okay, do you know how the array is indexed?
So it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this.
Okay,
So
that's
on.
perfect. Yes, you are perfect. So so 700. Okay, so what is the size of the array?
Sorry?
What is the size of the array?
Signs, oh yeah, the square brackets.
No. I mean, wait. I mean, so how many elements in the array? So the size of the array is how many elements in the array?
7 elements.
Okay, that's perfect. So if I run that command, print array size. So did you know this command before, this len command?
Not quite, to be honest. Not really.
Okay. So let me run. Okay. So you see here, and array size is 7. So it means that I'm able to get the length of the array or the size of the array by using this command. So that's
Oh yeah, I
actually
remember this command. Yep,
okay.
yep.
That's perfect. Okay. So I'm always will need to use that command to actually how to say, to build for loops that is in a dynamic way. So this means that I build a for loop that can deal with any size of array. Okay, so now we have a look. So I created a variable and I put the value 0 inside it, and then I make a for loop. So I will need to go through all the array, and yeah, I start with index equals 0 until the length of the array. That's clear to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me comment that line because you already know what's going on. So do you know what these 2 lines do?
Yeah. Wait, let me see if array index is largest. I think he's just changing the value of array index, the index of the array.
Okay, no, wait. So when I first run, actually, that was okay. Can you look here at the output? Can you see on the right-hand side?
Yes.
So you see I am looping from 0, the index is starting from 0 until it goes to 6, right?
Yep.
And every time I'm go through the loop, I'm printing what is inside the largest. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. Let me try to also share with you this. So do you know this will print what? Array index?
The what's into the array, the data of the
Elements
array.
of the array. Yes, the data of the array. Yes, you are correct. So it means that on this line, I'm checking if the element or the data inside the array is bigger than what is inside the largest. So we start with the largest equal 0, right? So it means that if we go to index 0, we will have 100 in the first time we run the array. So 100 is bigger than 0, right?
Yep.
So if it is bigger than 0, this means that we put the largest become 100 on this line.
Got it, I think.
Okay, that's clear?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so the second time we run the array, so we will be having the data in the array, which is becoming 2000. So 2000 is bigger than 100, right? Okay.
Oh, I got it now. Yes.
So Okay, so this means that we're always going to
be higher.
Yes, we always will store the highest value.
Got it.
Okay, so at the end, if you let's see. So at the end, we will be able to print the final largest value, which is 2000 here. Okay, and we are doing it with this line.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, so okay, let me if we go here, so let's define. So tell me, what should we do here? So I'm trying now to copy the piece of code that I already created, and I need to give it some parameters, and I need to put some code inside. So tell me, which line of code do you think we should start with?
Oh, okay, just wait. I think with the largest equal to 0, since that's the data of the largest.
Okay.
Okay. And then for index and range, len array. Do you want to have the same one or what? I'm not getting what do I have to do.
We can, yeah, I mean, yes, let's do the same, and then we work on improving it. So let's put it this way.
Okay.
Okay, and then of course this one we don't really need it because somehow we know how it works now. So you always know that we use print statements to be able to troubleshoot our code and to know it's working, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now okay, I have a function. I need to pass it an array, right?
Yes.
So how to pass it as a parameter? Sadiq, are you still with me? Hello, hello.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I didn't notice that.
Okay. So Sadiq, tell me.
Yes.
Okay. And so are you with me now?
Yep, I am with you.
Okay, perfect. So tell me, what should we put? How we can pass the array to the function that we are having here?
By return, maybe?
And no. So do you know what is what is parameters? What is a parameter that we can give to a function? Do you know what is that?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's good. Okay. So yeah. So let me look here, please. So look at this piece of code. So we print
Yes.
table, right? Okay. So actually, when we print a table, so that was the output of the table. Can you see on the right-hand side?
Yep.
Okay. So I print the table based on the number here that I have given to the function.
Yes.
So I passed 10 to the function, and I use this print statement to be able to print that 10 multiplication table. Okay, so I is used to loop from 0 to 10, and based on the number I pass to the function, then it start printing. So can you please have a look here? So I said number is equal 10, and then I print table, I pass the variable that is called numx. So if I pass 2 like that, we can try to print and see. So did you notice, depending on the parameters that I'm passing, then I can, the function will state, yes, it will do something totally different. Okay, so we are making it somehow dynamic based on the input that we are giving to the function. So we created our function in a way that the behavior will change based on our input to it. Okay, so so now we created a function here which is called largest element, and we want to pass it an array and as a parameter, and we call it array1. So we need to change the code here so that it base its functionality on the parameter that we're giving. So here there is no longer something called array. It is supposed to be array1. So that is the input that I already passed to it.
Why is it array1? Sorry.
Okay. So see, here we defined an array and we call it ARR, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we want our function when we call it here, largest element, I want to pass it array like that. Okay.
Yes.
Which is this one, right? But our function here does not see anything from here. Our function is totally isolated from the other code. So it lives in its own world. Okay. So I need to make the code only behave based on the input that is given to the function. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass an array, and my function here will see the input as array1. Okay, I can name it. I can name it here any other name. I can name it array2. Okay, and I need to pass it here array2. Okay, but inside the function, whatever I write here, then I'm able to use it inside the function.
Oh yeah, I got you now.
Okay, yeah. So it means that okay, here I will put it array1, and then here also I will put it array1. Okay, can we test if this works? Do you think it will work?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So see, let's put that fine element. Okay, so you see it works, right? So then how can we return a value?
Yes.
Should we use return, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, and then we pass it. So we know that largest is a variable that carries the largest element inside the array, right? So I'm going to return largest. Okay. So I run.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm running, but if you see, there is no output here, right? So how can we get an output from a function? So I would say I create a variable here that gets whatever is returned from the function here. So I created a function. This function will return something to me, and then whatever is returned, I will store it inside a variable that's called large. And then I will print it. I will print large, but let me put some text here inside main large. Okay, launch. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah. Yes, kind of.
Okay, so yeah, that's great then.
Yes.
So it's clear to you how we make a function, right? And how we make.
It's actually very big.
Okay, so it doesn't seem difficult to you, right? Because you already have a background in Python.
My background is not that good, as I told you, but I just have started to learn it more, to take it in a serious way. That's why.
That's good. Okay, so that's good then. Let me. So I will stop the Python on this here, and then I will move to some pseudocode example. Would that be fine to you?
That'll be fine.
Yes.
By the way, I'm predicting for the next November session. So I don't think I will have much time. That's why I will have 5 classes a week.
Okay. Yeah, let me try to arrange that. You need it 1 hour a day, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I think yes, I will try my best to work it out with Aryan.
Yeah, sure, that'll be great, actually.
Okay. So let me check here. So let me see. So that's actually what you can see here is actually a simple, how to say, a simple compiler for pseudocode. Okay. So instead of you, I have no idea if you ever seen something like that before. It's not a perfect one. Okay. But it helps you somehow to understand what's going on and to test what you're writing instead of just imagining that it will work. Okay.
Okay. It's just like learn the code.
Yes, somehow like that. Yes. Okay. So, do you know you have some background? So can you tell me what do you think this code is?
My background in Pseudo Code is like so bad. I for the last session I wanted to go with Python. Then in the last hours I just did Pseudo Code. So I'm not that good into it, to be honest.
Okay, that's fine. So would you like to have a look at the code first, or we start with the basics?
I think I can read the code, but I don't know to write it.
Okay, so let's have a look. So this is how we declare an integer. As you know, in Python, we don't do any declaration. So this means that we don't define, most of the time, we don't have to define any variables inside Python. So we never say, oh, this variable is a string, or this variable is an integer, or this variable is a float. But in pseudocode, we have to do that. So here you define, you say, you declare, this is a declaration. Again, we don't have declaration in Python. And so you're declaring a variable of type integer here in the pseudocode. And then you are assigning this, how to say, this variable to 0, okay?
Yes.
Okay, the output command here is used to enter something on the screen, to write something to the screen, okay? And this
is like a print, right?
Exactly like a print. Yes, exactly like a print. Yes, but the print is more advanced than output.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay, so then we have a for loop here. So the for loop actually it is similar to the Python, except that here we have something extra. We have something called next. Okay, and then we are always using this kind of arrow instead of the equal sign, the assignment operator. So that's the assignment operator inside pseudocode.
Yep.
Okay, so counter will have values from 1 to 3. Okay, so we will start with counter equal 1. So what we are doing inside here from line 15 to line 19, actually we are asking the user to input a number, and based on the input, we will try to try to get the highest number from the 3 numbers that the user input.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so here it's just a normal output. Okay, and this line is actually getting an input from the user and storing the input inside number variable. Okay, and then the next line here, the if statement. So as you know, there is no end if in Python, but here there is end if. So what we are doing here is that, okay, we assign similar to previous Python code, we assign largest to 0. So, and then we will compare that number that the user input with the largest. If it is higher, then we will put whatever we got from the user inside the largest. Okay, and then after 3, so we will keep doing that and trying to always make if statement to check if the number that the user input on the second time is larger than the previous time. If it is not done, we will run one more time, and then at the end we will have some data stored in the largest variable, and this data will have the largest from the 3 numbers that the user already keyed in. Okay, we can run and check.
Okay.
So let's say 23. Let's say 30. Let's say 100. So as you see, do you see the last printed statement? So the largest number is 100. So it means that what we're trying to do actually it actually worked. Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Okay. That's good. So let me go through some other documentation then, and then. So Sadek, we only have 5 minutes before this session ends. So can you see what I'm sharing with you now?
Yes, I could see.
Okay, so that's actually a simple comparison by what we're having on the pseudocode and what we're having on Python. So the data types in Python is integer, float, Boolean, and string, and that's how it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, so the data types, again, it is the same here in pseudocode, except that it looks a bit different. So here we call float a real in pseudocode, and here also in pseudocode we call it a full yeah, it's a Boolean anyway, but we call it pool inside Python. Okay, and again here the Python call it str for a string, but here in pseudocode we call it a string. So again, instead of assignment operators that we use inside Python, we use this arrow for assignment in pseudocode. Okay, so we can use it for assigning anything. We can use it for assigning integers, for assigning a string. So do you know what is the difference between a string and a character?
A string is like where it only has anything except numbers, I think, the value of it.
We always use double quotation with a string, and we use a single quotation with a character. That's one of the main differences.
Got it.
Okay. So Boolean, we need Boolean a lot as a flag, or yeah, most of the time we use it as a flag in our code. We use a float always if we are using averages. So if you are doing an average for 3 or 4 numbers, you will definitely need a float, not an integer, to cater for the decimal point. Okay.
Yep,
and yes, and one more thing that is actually important is that conversions. So we need certain functions to convert from string to integer and from integer to string. So okay, so for example, you see this kind of code that we have here. So it is asking the user to input some enter a value, but then I want to change that value because the input always return a string. The input function itself is returning a string. Okay, so anything it will give to us, it will be in a string format, and if we want to do any arithmetic operation on it, then we have to convert it to an integer. So we use that function int to convert whatever the input is giving to me.
Got it.
Okay, that's perfect. So let's say you ask the user to enter a school name, but then you want to confirm that the user does not enter an integer because the user can make a mistake. Okay, and sometimes in the exam, sometimes he will ask you to confirm the input from the user. So you have to do like that. So if you are expecting a string, then you need to make sure the user input a string. So if you're expecting a string and the user input, for example, an integer, this code will cause an error. So it means that it will not run. So you will find an error. If I use that line now on the pseudocode, on the Python compiler, and we try to enter an integer, it will not run. It will make an error. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now. Okay, so this is a normal typical print statement. We are able to print variables or even strings. So again, the print statement actually do something good to us. So if we pass it, if we pass here any integer, it will convert it automatically for us. So I don't need to really convert